Hey y'all, so I'm making this video to kind of introduce a self-imposed challenge that I've been playing through currently. So, I've called this challenge the No Stash Nomad. It's a very simple concept with some extra rules added in just for kind of quality of life and to kind of fit my playstyle. So, plain and simply, I'm not allowed to use the stash or sentinel locker in this challenge. That's it. It is a trade league challenge, so I am able to sell items, though I'm kind of at the mercy of bulk sale on PoE trade, and sometimes TFT, though that's kind of like a logistical nightmare, and I will go over that in some of the later episodes when I try doing it. But how this challenge works is I'm going to attempt to kill all the Ubers and reach as high of a level as possible without using my stash tab or sentinel locker. So I'm basically relying on getting item drops and quickly converting them into currency. And most of the time, this is actually just going to be raw currency. And my methodology for this, I will go over in a lot of the earlier episodes, I believe, as it's going to be basically the same strategy throughout the challenge as far as making currency goes. But there's another factor that I added on just to give the challenge a little bit more spice. So, currently, I am at 20 hours and 30 minutes. I'm going to push out the first episode and update at 24 hours playtime. And I also am going to keep an eye on how many deaths I've had. So I've had 3 deaths total. One was in mudflats, and the other 2 was when I was transitioning from Spark to DD. And with these deaths, I've kind of created my own sort of penalty system. So with each death, there is an increasing penalty. How this is going to work is basically I'm going to have a random number generator give me a number and a certain square that matches to that number. So it'll be 1 through 5 and 6 through 10. If it hits a corner of like a 4 slot item, that item is going to be dropped or thrown into the graveyard, whatever you want to call it. But this has kind of been my way of sort of penalizing myself for dying. And that's also why I've only died 3 times, and also why I'm playing DD. But this is kind of just to get me to play around Ubers and general content a bit safer, kind of in preparation for Gauntlet and all the other challenge stuff. But I think that is just something I wanted to add on to make it a bit more challenging, seeing as the challenge itself I don't think is actually too difficult. Like, it's more of just like a inconvenience to not be able to use a stash, especially when you have sentinels just pumping out exalts. So, in order to not only add challenge, but also kind of give me a sort of incentive to play smarter and thus improve, I've added on that penalty, and I'm gonna be hopefully seeing bigger numbers just for the sake of entertainment. That way I can kind of record some random number generations and subsequent item deletions. But hopefully that doesn't hit like an exalt I have in my inventory or something. Anyways, I am going to make some more update videos and episodes for this series, and I'll kind of see how it does. If anybody has any suggestions to add on to this, I'm open to them. One final note is because I didn't reset my account or I didn't reset anything, how I've been handling Atlas passives is a little bit more artificial. So this is not a very like natural progression from like league start. It was not intended to be like that. It was just more starting a little bit from scratch. So you can notice I have 39 points left. This is still the number of maps I need to complete. So the maximum I can get from completing maps is 115. I'm going to limit myself to that. And by that, I mean I get 1 Atlas point per map I complete and, kill the boss. And the last 17 points I have to get from imitations and the pinnacle bosses. And same with the favoriting system, I'm going to just follow whatever the original favoriting system required maps for, as well as the void stones. I will only give myself void stones when I've actually killed the bosses. That being said, I'm totally okay with myself buying maps or invitations or whatever if I need to be, because first of all, I'm already kind of stressed on currency all the time. So it's kind of an investment, and if I happen to fail it, then that's a huge loss. But also, it's going to be like a slight progression. If I spend all my currency on an invitation just to get one void stone, that might not pay off as much until later. And so it's kind of like one of those things where it kind of self-limits itself. But that's about it. Again, I'm going to be making some more episodes. It's more likely than not going to just be highlights. Perhaps with some voiceovers, a lot of trading, and a little bit of mapping. Just kind of seeing how this character progresses. I've already gotten to a pretty strong point where this character can easily clear T16, but it's also DD, so it's not really all that impressive. But it's definitely enough progress to where I feel comfortable making a video update with kind of like the mechanics of why and how I upgraded gear. But yeah, so next time, ciao.